Posted by user BrilliantDear259. AITA for leaving my bachelorette party and telling my MOH to stop living vicariously through me? I, 27F, got engaged to my fiancé in December 2019, around the same time as my BFF Chelsea, 27F. We decided that we'd be each other's maid of honor. Chelsea and her ex split up shortly after the engagement because he cheated. My fiancé and I started planning a laid-back fall wedding a couple months ago. I asked Chelsea if she was still up to being MOH, she excitedly said yes. A few days later, she sent me a list of dates for a wedding shower at the place hers was originally scheduled at. I told her we weren't planning on a shower because a lot of our friends, family were hit hard by the pandemic. She was upset but let it go. Something similar happened with the dress shopping. She had a list of places ready to go. I told her I wanted my friend, who is a seamstress, to make the dress. She convinced me to go shopping anyway, then ended up trying a lot of the dresses herself. I was weary when she mentioned a bachelorette party, but she presented plans that seemed perfect: a hike, a nice dinner, then a drive-in movie with my dog. I agreed. She picked me up on Saturday, but instead of driving to the park we were supposed to hike in, she took me to a lake house. My heart dropped because I knew she'd planned a house party. Lo and behold, I walked in and my bridesmaids were there, as well as the women who I suspect Chelsea would have picked as bridesmaids. There was also a lot of liquor. I don't drink. My mother is an alcoholic and I want to avoid the same fate. While I don't mind being around people who are drinking, it's uncomfortable and, depending on the situation, triggering. When I walked in, half the people there were already drunk. To make matters worse, Chelsea neglected to tell me until 9 p.m. that she planned to stay the night. My fiancé was out of town and I had no one to watch my dog. Chelsea said, "He'll probably be okay, it's only one night." Long story short, my future Bill came and picked me up and took me home. I didn't tell Chelsea myself, she was trashed at that point, and asked one of my bridesmaids to. Yesterday, I woke up with 20+ texts and calls from Chelsea and a few others asking where I was and if I was okay. I texted Chelsea back, who told me she was headed to my place to talk. As soon as she walked through the door she started berating me, telling me she put so much effort into that party and I was so ungrateful. She told me that she wished I were a normal bride. Admittedly, I thought she was coming to apologize, and I lost my shit. I told her I'd been walking on eggshells and compromising so I didn't hurt her feelings, but I wouldn't anymore, and that she needed to stop living vicariously through me and planning what she'd want for her own wedding. She called me a bitch and a bad friend and left. We haven't spoken since. So Reddit AITA. Edit, wow, this got way more attention than I had anticipated. Thank you everyone, and also for the awards, though please save your money for something else. I can't respond to everyone, but I do want to clarify a couple things. Chelsea is aware of my relationship with my mother, we've been friends since we were children. I asked for a party with no alcohol specifically. I do not mean to trivialize what happened to Chelsea, it was traumatic and definitely left its mark. But I have also been there for her through it. I was the shoulder she cried on, the person she called, the best friend I could be. When I approached her about being MOH again, it had been over a year since they split up and she seemed to be in a good mental place. She assured me that she was ready and I believed her because I trusted her. And the other option would have been to essentially say I replaced her because I think she's too broken to do the job, which would have been hurtful, as well. Now for the comments. Nathasha Nails said NTA. I can forgive the dress shopping. That's not that big of a deal and understandable. But that fact that she lied about the bachelorette party is not okay. She knew you didn't drink yet, made that a main focus. And then didn't let you know that she wasn't going to give you a ride home, which would harm your dog and inconvenience your bill. She's out of line. I'd honestly demote her from MOH. She clearly can't handle it after not getting her own wedding. She needs to take several steps back and stop sabotaging your special events. Vanda Joy said. NTA, but you definitely should have had a hard conversation with her before the bachelorette party when it reached the boiling point.